All right, let's get right into it. Picking a driving school seems pretty simple on the surface. But if you're a new driver or the parent of one in the Unionville area, the stakes are just so much higher than just passing a road test. We're really talking about setting someone up for a lifetime of safe driving on some seriously challenging local roads.
So, let's kick things off with the one question that every single family in Markham and Unionville should be asking themselves. Is a driving school that just teaches the bare minimum, just enough to pass the G2 test, is that really preparing your kid for the reality of rush hour on Highway 7? Let's unpack why that's such a critical difference.
First things first, we've got to understand the local landscape. Driving in Unionville isn't like driving in some quiet small town. The challenges here demand a much higher level of skill right from day one.
And look, these challenges are super specific. We're not talking about hypotheticals here. We're talking about trying to navigate the 6, sometimes 7 lanes of Highway 7. We're talking about merging into traffic doing over 100 kilometers an hour on the 404. We're talking about those tricky 40-kilometer-per-hour school zones around Unionville High. And of course, we're talking about handling a car on black ice during a classic Ontario winter. These are the daily realities for drivers here.
And this is the absolute core of the problem, isn't it? If a school's entire focus is built around acing a 20-minute test that probably happens on quiet little side streets, it creates this huge, dangerous gap between what it takes to pass and what it takes to survive in the real world. Test prep is just not real-world prep. It's that simple. So what's the alternative then? Well, it's about a complete shift in philosophy, moving away from just checking a box to pass a test and moving towards building real, lifelong survival skills behind the wheel.
This comparison really lays out the two different mindsets perfectly. On one side, you've got your typical test prep model. It's all reactive. It's about memorizing test routes, doing the bare minimum. But on the other side, you have a proactive model that's all about recognizing hazards before they turn into emergencies. It's about building skills that stick with you for a lifetime, not just for 20 minutes with an examiner.
And at the heart of this proactive way of thinking is something they call the collision-free TM approach. The entire idea here is to actually retrain a new driver's brain to see the road differently, to spot potential trouble down the road and react early, so you don't even need those last-second, heart-in-your-throat panic maneuvers.
And this is really where the rubber meets the road, literally. We're talking about teaching skills that, let's be honest, a lot of budget schools just skip over to keep costs down. Things like, how do you actually handle a skid on an icy patch of road? What do you do if another car suddenly swerves into your lane? How do you properly and safely execute an emergency swerve to avoid a crash? These are the skills that actually save lives.
But even with the absolute best curriculum in the world, there's this hidden flaw, this kind of elephant in the room in most driver ed programs. It's called the practice gap.
And here it is. The Ministry of Transportation, the MTO, they only require a minimum of 10 hours of in-car training. 10 hours! But study after study, all the independent research is crystal clear. New drivers need closer to 120 hours of supervised practice to seriously lower their risk of a crash. That 110-hour difference, that is the practice gap. And that's where so many new drivers are left totally vulnerable.
Wow, this visual just says everything, doesn't it? Just look at the massive difference between the government minimum and what the actual safety science tells us is necessary. Just giving a new driver 10 hours of lessons and then saying, okay, go practice with your parents, that is not a complete strategy, not even close.
So how do you fix this? How do you close that giant gap? Well, this is where technology steps in. And as YDC's Andrew Mark says here, the whole idea is to take their proven teaching methods and literally put them in the driver's pocket. It turns all that unstructured, just driving around time into deliberate, guided, and consistent training. So here's how it actually works. It's pretty cool. Before a practice drive, the student and the parent can actually set a specific goal in the app. Something like, let's practice 3 highway merges today. Then, while they're driving, the app gives real-time feedback on things like speed control and smooth braking. And after the drive, they can review a safety score and see exactly what they need to work on. It totally transforms practice from just logging hours into actually mastering skills.
So, of course, this all leads to the big question that's probably on every parent's mind. What does it all cost? But maybe, just maybe, the better question is, what's the real value of lifelong safety?
So let's just lay out the options in the Markham area. You can see schools like Top Star and All Star. They're definitely more budget-friendly, and they meet those MTO minimums. Young Drivers, on the other hand, is at a premium price point. But you can see the difference is right there in the extended in-car hours and that intense focus on the collision avoidance curriculum.
And hey, let's be direct about the numbers. A budget school might run you somewhere between $600 and $800. A really comprehensive program from young drivers, you're looking at starting around $1,600 and it goes up from there. That is a big difference, and it's important that we acknowledge that right up front.
But right after you see that price difference, I want you to look at this number. $1.6 million. That's the estimated societal cost of a single traffic fatality, once you factor in everything: emergency services, hospital stays, loss of life. Now, this isn't meant to scare anybody. It's just to put the cost of proper training into some serious perspective.
So here's the bottom line. That extra investment, it's not for a fancier logo or a nicer classroom. It's for a measurable reduction in risk. You're paying for those critical skills, like skid control and collision avoidance, that a lot of other programs just leave out. You're not just buying lessons, you're investing in a lifetime of safety.
Okay, so to wrap this all up, how do you take all this info and actually make the right choice for your family? Well, here's a simple checklist you can use to evaluate any driving school out there.
First off, are they MTO approved? That's the absolute baseline. Then ask them directly, does your curriculum actually teach emergency maneuvers like skid control? Is the in-car instruction really one-on-one, or is another student in the back? Can they show you any data on their safety outcomes? And finally, what tools are they giving you to help close that massive practice gap?
Ultimately, everything we've talked about really just boils down to this one final question. Are you investing in a license, or are you investing in a lifetime? Because when that new driver finally pulls out of the driveway, all by themselves for the very first time, you want to be absolutely confident that you've given them more than just a piece of plastic for their wallet. You want to know you've given them the skills to handle anything the road can throw at them for the rest of their life.